Let's proceed to lesson 3.5, or it talks about a professional conduct and ethics. So first, letter A, professional conduct and ethics of security guards. As with other professions, security personnel also are guided by their profession's conduct and ethics in the performance of their duties. This professional conduct and ethics are stipulated in section 1 to 3 rule 8 of the RA 5487. So first, security guard creed, code of ethics and code of conduct. All members of private security agency and private detective agency or CSF or GSU shall strictly observe their creed or code of ethics and code of conduct. Then security guard creed. Then as a security guard, my fundamental duty is to protect lives and property and maintain order with the vicinity. My place of duty, protect the interests of many lawyer of our clients and security stability of the government and country without compromise and prejudice, honest in my action, words and thoughts, and do my best uphold the principle maka-Diyos, makatao at ay makabayan at makatao. So as a security guard, ang imuhang duty kay kanang protektahan nimo ang isa ka kanang property sa isa ka tao or pwede pud life sa mga people. Then ma-maintain pud ang imong ang peace sa isa ka sa isa ka establishment and nga imong gidutihan. So dapat maging pud ka, maging honest ka sa imong mga action ug sa imong mga words na ginaingon ug sa imong mga ginahuna-huna gani ana. Then, ethics standard. Letter A, as a security guard, detective, its fundamental duty is to serve the interest or mission of his agency in the compliance with the contract entered into with clients or customers of the agency he is supposed to serve. Letter B, he shall be honest in thoughts and deeds, both in the laws of land and the regulations prescribed by his agency and those established by the company he is supposed to protect. So maging honest dapat siya sa security guard. Then letter C, he shall not reveal any confidential information confined to him as a security guard and such other matters imposed upon him by law. So kanang mga confidential nga information dapat dili na nimo basta-basta nga ipang-reveal lang Then he shall act at all times with decorum and shall not permit personal feelings, prejudices, and undue friendship to influence his actuation while in the performance of his official function. Letter E, shall not compromise with criminals and other lawless elements of prejudice of the customers, relentless drive against lawlessness of forms of criminality. So, then letter F, he shall carry out his assigned duties as required by law to the best of his ability and shall safeguard life and property the best of the establishment he is assigned to. Then letter G, he shall wear his uniform, badge, patches, and insignia properly as a symbol of public trust and confidence as honest and trustworthy security guard and private detector. So as a security guard dapat ka complete uniform, nakasuot mo mga badge, mga patches nimo then og maging confidence ka sa imong duty. Then honest ka, saligan nga security guard. Then letter I, he shall diligently and progressively familiarize himself with the rules and regulations laid down by his agency and those of the customers or clients. So katong mga rules sa ilahang agency dapat ang ihatong i-familiarize much better na imo tong i-apply gani. Then letter K, he shall report for duty always in proper uniform and neat in his appearance. So as a dapat neat ka, dili ka lama tanawon. Then kay syempre imong trabaho og tao, communicate kag tao. Then letter L is, he shall learn at heart and strictly observe the laws and regulation governing the use of firearms. So as security guard, kung naka-firearm, dapat kabalo ka sa rules sa imong firearm, kabalo ka sa paggamit ug asa lang na siya dapat gamiton Then code of conduct. Letter A, he shall carry with him at all times during his tour of duty his license identification card and duty detail order with the authority to carry firearms. So as a security guard dapat kanang sa tanan-tanan oras doon sa imong sa imong pag-duty dapat dala nimo ang imong license identification. Then letter B, he shall not use his license and privilege to prejudice the public and clients and customers and his agency. Letter C, he shall not engage in any unnecessary conversation with any except in a discharge of his work, and shall at all times keep himself alert during his tour of duty. So maging alerto ka bawat duty nimo ana. Then the next, letter D, he shall not read newspaper, magazines, books, etc. while actually performing his duty. So kung mag-duty ka, dili ka pwede magbasa-basa og mga newspaper, magazine, dapat or mga books, dapat ano ka kanang focus ka sa imong trabaho, kay patanga-tanga ka, masudlan na imong establishment ug kanang mga ano nga tao, mga possible na intruders. Then letter E, he shall not drink any intoxicating liquor immediately before and during his tour of duty. So as a security guard, bawal ka mag-inom during sa imong duty. Sao na lang imong trabaho. Then number F, he shall know the location of alarm box near his post and sound the alarm in case of fire or disorder. So kung dapat kabalo ka kung asa ang nakabutang ang mga alarm box as a security guard, kabalo ka nung ka na nga kuan ka na nga compound, dapat kabalo kung asa nakabutang, asa nakalocate ana god, para in case nga naay ano nay mga emergency, murag dali lang nimo mapindot to ba nga para ma-aware ang mga tao nga naing ani nga nahitabo. Then letter I, he shall immediately notify the police in case of any signs or disorders, strike, riot, or any serious violations of law. So kung nay-riot, atbang lang sa imong kuan ba sa imong establishment na nag-riot, pwede nimo na-report dito sa ano, sa pulisya. Dramatic ang kuan dayon, matagaan og masolusyonan ba na. Then letter K, he shall assist the police in preservation and maintenance of peace and order in the protection of life, property, having in mind that nature of his responsibility is similar to that of the letter. So as a security guard, kung report na nimo nga naingana na tabo dito so dapat i-assist nimo ang police, kay dili lang sila ang naayano na rights ana, pati pud ikaw ana. Then ay para ma-maintain ninyo ang ano peace and order sa kanang ano property. Then letter L, he shall familiarize himself with the Private Security Agency Law or RA 5487 as amended, and the PNP SAGs the implementing rules and regulation. M is when issued a pass, he should not lend his pass to anybody. Then N, he shall always in proper uniform and he shall always carry with him his basic requirements and equipment such as writing notebook, ball pen, nightstick or baton and or radio. So kaning mga ano, kaning writing notebook kay para man sa mga logbook ka, ball pen man na siya, kaning nightstick kanang kuan murag baton ra na, murag batuta gani, o radio kanang para sa syempre sa isang establishment daghan man mo ana security guard, murag dali lang makontak tong uban security guard nga na inform ba murag naingani diri na tabo ana. Then letter O, he shall endeavor at all times to merit and be worthy of the trust, confidence of the agency be represent and the client he serves. Next, letter B, general orders. These are the pattern after the 11 general orders of the AFP and PNP. So kaning general orders, known na kay ni siya, murag mao ni ang pinaka-basic ka dapat kabalo ang mga ano ani dili lang kay law enforcement, katupong mga security guard sa kuang pag-interview atong last kay isa sa gingon sa security guard na kaning 11 Geo kay required jud ni. Aside sa kaning nga rules, dapat kanapod ba ka nang ihatag ang imuhang gitrabahoan nga company nga kuan rules ana. Then ang number 1 sa general orders is to take charge of the post and all government properties. So as a security guard, dapat ikaw ang in charge para magbantay ana nga company properties ana. Then second is to walk during his tour of duty in the military manner, keeping always on the alert and observe everything that take place within sight or hearing. So during sa imong pag-duty as a security guard, example lang sa security guard, dapat maging alert to ka permi ba. Then kailangan nimo i-observe ang imong palibot, dili ka magpatanga-tanga. Then ang third is to repeat all calls from post more distant from the guardhouse where I am stationed. Then ang ika-fifth is number 4 is to report all violations of orders I am instructed to enforce. Then number 5 is to quit my post only when properly relieved. Then number 6 is to receive, obey and pass the relieving guard, all orders from company officers or officials, supervisors, and post in charge or shift leaders. Then number 7, to talk to one except in line of duty. And number 8 is to sound or call the alarm in case of fire or disorders. Then number 9 is to call officer in any not covered by instructions. And number 10 is to salute all company officials, superiors in the agency ranking of public officials, and commission officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and officers of the Integrated National Police. And ang last naka-11 is to be specially watchful at night and during the time of challenging to challenge all persons on or near my post, and to allow no one to pass or loiter without proper authority. Then letter C, professional creed or code of ethics and code of conduct of agency, proprietor, and PSA or CSF and GSU. The proprietors of security agency to have their own creed, and PSA or CSF and GSU are also covered by their codes of ethics and conduct. So first, creed of security agency, proprietor, code of ethics, and code of conduct for private security agency or company security force and government agency unit, security unit. Then security agency unit operators creed. As a security agency proprietor, my fundamental duty is to serve the interest of my client and my security guard, protect the interest of the government, adhere professionally in the conduct of my business without prejudices and compromise to human rights, and uphold constantly the law and abide the rules and regulations set by the government in the conduct of my business. So next is ethical standard. As a licensed PSA or CSF, it shall be its prime concern to share with other licensed agencies and company security forces the burden of responsibility is upholding the integrity and trust of the private security profession at all times, and discharging this responsibility is official shall first is endeavor to fulfill their professional duties in accordance with the highest moral principles, always conforming to the precept of truth, fairness, and justice. So ethical standards sa physical private security agency ang kung maging sila fair sila, o maging kung unsa tong tinuod maura dapat dili kay magbot-ay ka nang murag kumbaga so dapat dili na sila magbot-bot og kanang mga istorya nga lain. The letter B, contribute to the national welfare by securing and serving industrial facilities of the country through competent guarding services. Then C, promote the well-being of security guard through adequate wages and other emoluments. Letter D, with faith and diligence perform their contractual obligations for the protection of life, and property. So maging sila obligasyon nila na protektahan ang kinabuhi sa matag usa wag ang property sa isa ka tao. Then letter E, constantly endeavor to raise quality standard of the private security services, and F, continuously working with assist the law enforcement agencies and the preservation of peace and order in the country. So obligasyon gyapon nila na kanang i-assist tong mga law enforcement agencies kung para ma-maintain or ma-preserve ang peace and order sa ato ang country. Code of conduct. So letter A, they shall at all times adhere to professional ethics and refrain from practices that negate the best interest of the private security service industry. They shall always consider that unity is the profession is a vital and paramount for the attainment of common objectives. So kanang unity mingon tag kanang murag ang dapat magtinabangay gani So letter B, they shall not use deceitful means or to this end they shall avoid granting of rebates or commissions in securing guarding contracts. Letter C, they shall not indulge in cutthroat competition by undercutting the existing contract rate between the PSA and the client and or the minimum contract rate prescribed under the PADPAO Memorandum of Agreement. Letter D, they shall pay their guards in accordance with the rate fixed by law. Letter E, when a prospective client with existing company security forces calls or bids for additional security guard, or all abiding security agencies shall observe the principal or equal pay for the equal work, considering the rate of pay of the company's security service in their own guards. Letter F, they shall endeavor to raise the standard of service in the security profession through incentives and in-service training. Letter G, they shall establish adequate library or books, magazines, and other publications of security subject materials, reference, etc. In each PSA, letter H, they shall always be truthful and accurate the reports required by SOSHA and or other competent authorities, and be prompt in the submission of the same. Letter I, they shall not under any circumstances employed by for guard duty any person without a professional license as security guard duly issued by the chief PNP. And last, letter J, they shall at all times exercise vigilance and be prepared to prevent the use of their guards or the agency in activities inimical to the state of national security when the activities of this nature come to their attention, and they shall as a matter of duty render an appropriate report of the Philippine National Police authorities. So kanila is kanang i-practice nilang ilang mga guards na in case nga na emergency na mahitabo murag kabalo na sila sa ilahang dapat buhaton. That's all. Thank you.